All right, back down here in the Chiefs pit, Timmy Petty, Mark Petty, and Richie Petty. All right, we're always digging through our stuff and coming up with some cool stuff. And we find stuff that we have no idea what we got. I hate to be that way, but it's true, ain't it?
Yes.
I'm digging through some things the other day, and I come across this, and this programs. This is 1950 from Darlington. I had no idea they run open wheel cars at Darlington.
I didn't know.
And this was a AAA sanction event, and they ran at Darlington. You know, Darlington, we think of stock cars, right? Running up to the high groove, getting the Darlington stripe. Can you imagine running a dadgum open wheel at Darlington? No. I'm sure they had to stay on the bottom. They couldn't get up at the top, but this was 1950 AAA sanction.
Open wheel stuff.
Open wheel. But I got to looking in this program. There's some big names in there that ran there. But there was another thing I ran across, and I had no idea about this. 1924, there was a board track in Charlotte. Did you know that?
No.
A wooden board track.
I've heard of the board tracks.
But I didn't know there was one in Charlotte.
But you think of Charlotte Motor Speedway as the first racetrack in Charlotte. Well, it went back to the fairgrounds, right?
Yeah.
That's where the first NASCAR race was held in June 19th, 1949.
No,
I know, but I'm saying in June 19th, 1949, they ran at the old fairgrounds or something down there in Charlotte was the first Grand National race. Well, they was racing in Charlotte before then because they had that board track. I had no idea.
I didn't either.
No.
Now, I've heard Daddy talk about some of them board tracks back when he was a young.
It wasn't around where the Metrolina place was.
I'm not sure. I was going to say it's just in this
maybe
program.
somebody out there could weigh in and let us know because I wouldn't know where it would be.
I wouldn't either.
And they had another track over between Concord and Charlotte at one time, and that was called Charlotte, I thought.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if it was. I don't think it was a wooden track.
I guess where I'm going with that is Charlotte had racing back in the 20s, and I mean that just blew my mind when I read that. But I guess it doesn't take much.
No. And again, these open wheel things. So did they run a season like?
Well, this one, like I said, I ran across this program, and then I was going through another box and come across some other programs, and this is a NASCAR. And folks, you might not have heard of this, but NASCAR had a Speedway Division for open wheel cars.
What year was that?
This was 52 that they ran a season. I think they had 7 or 8 races that they ran for a season for a points racing for NASCAR. NASCAR had the modifieds, and then they had the Cup, which is strictly stock kind of cars. They had convertibles. They've had a short track series and all that, but this was an open
compact series.
Yeah, just different stuff. And I remember Daddy talking about the Speedway Division a little bit because he had I don't know if he remembered it or heard about it, but we were talking about this a long time ago, and I forgot all about it. Mm-hmm. Do y'all remember Daddy talking about it?
I don't. No. I don't. It's all educating me right here.
Well, that's on the set here. We have a helmet and some goggles, and this would have been what the drivers would have worn in the races. I mean, like we've talked about the polo helmet before, and little protection it is, but that's the best protection they had. But they were running open wheels, no tops, and that was all they had to protect their head. Can you imagine?
No.
And these are authentic goggles and the helmet. And here's the box for the goggles. So
that they would have used in this.
Yeah. The picture I remember the most about that kind of helmet and them goggles was it Red Byron?
Yeah.
The one at Martinsville?
Yeah.
When it was dirt, and then when he took the goggles off, it was...
Oh, here we go. Timmy Petty, ladies and
gentlemen. My head's too big. Steve Grissom couldn't get this on.
I guarantee it.
Well, 1952, the Speedway Division, like I said, I think it was 7 or 8 races. Buck Baker was the first champion of this division. Well, the only champion, but he was the first.
So you've lost a year. You said they started in 50.
Well, no,
that wasn't NASCAR.
That's not NASCAR.
Oh,
that was just at Darlington.
Okay. This is AAA sanctioned.
So they only had one season of this. The NASCAR.
What I was reading up on it, because it intrigued me when I seen this, and I started just sort of looking and reading. And hey, we don't know enough about this to be talking about, but we do have some stuff to look at, and it's interesting. But 1952 was the only season that NASCAR ran the Speedway Division.
And didn't you say they were going to try to run another year, and they went down to Daytona?
I think Bill France Sr. was trying to get some things lined up for 53, and the way I read in the book there, they showed up at Daytona for speed trials, and only 8 cars showed up. And I guess Buck Baker he won that deal too. So,
Well, that 52 season you're talking about, you said they had 8 races?
yes, sir.
What track, did they run any tracks that they still run today?
Martinsville
Martinsville?
and Darlington.
Well, but that was a sight seeing open wheel cars going around Martinsville.
Martinsville was a dirt track then.
Yeah.
And these guys were running around with their open wheels, dirt tracking. But these cars, I think I should have seen a picture. Somebody had run one of these at Indy the year before, and then it turned into a NASCAR Speedway Division car. So it's the same cars they was running at Indianapolis at the time.
So would you call that a champ car?
I don't know.
Probably not
I
then.
just called it an
I
open wheel.
mean, would that be the equivalent
Oh, I do not
of a
know.
champ car?
But
Like,
you know-
didn't you say the steering wheel was up here?
Yeah, it's just like that. But the open wheel guys, there's been a few of them that's come to NASCAR in the past, like AJ Foyt, probably the best of the best, to win some
Well, you
races.
got Mario too.
But
Yeah.
well, no, I'm saying just that could come in there and run every week with them. And we had a bunch of them. But then there was some NASCAR guys that tried to run, and they act like it's a new deal because Jimmy Johnson went and run Indianapolis, and was Larson going to go try to run it?
Yeah.
But this goes back to the 50s that the NASCAR guys were running open wheel stuff.
Oh,
They had
okay,
their
I
own
see where you're
division.
going with that.
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of what was kind of neat for me, I think it was 96. Speaking of open wheel guys, AJ Foyt's always a hero of ours. And we were in Bonneville going to do that speed run for that Cummins recon truck we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go to a rookie meeting. And AJ Foyt was there with a flathead. He had never been to Bonneville either. So me and AJ Foyt were in the same rookie meeting at Bonneville.
That's pretty cool.
You are getting pretty old.
Yeah. So anyway, Jack Smith, he ran some of these races too.
Had no idea.
So there's several of them NASCAR guys. Was in
So
there.
I remember Pop Red talking about cars like that, and I don't know if it was the same deal, but they were talking about the test at Daytona, and they were actually lifting up off the ground. I think that might have been what put a stop to them.
Yeah.
Remember, I know y'all recall him talking about the way they would come down through there and just basically have no control over
Oh
them.
yeah. But I think I do some more research.
believe it's
and
the same
we'll
thing.
get back. But I think when they built the big speedway at Daytona, I think they tried to run some of these open wheel cars there, and I think they had a couple of races.
Oh, this would have actually been on the.
Yeah, this was the
on-
beach
on
course.
A1A.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay,
This
well-
was way before then.
I'm thinking about the big speedway.
Yeah, no, this is way.
That would
before
have
then.
been the Pop story was different. Never
Yeah.
scratch that.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway, I mean that's just this interests me, and I hope y'all got something out of it. But we'll do some more research and bring you some more good stuff like this. But
If anybody knows anything about it,
oh yeah,
Yeah, let us
Holler
know.
back.
But,
Educate us.
Yeah. So like and subscribe and leave us some comments. Thanks.